Hello everyone, and now welcome to game 3 in this best of 3 between Sase and ToD. And ToD really just found a strong opening and just tore Sase apart, apparently. Dark Templars wasn't quite enough, wasn't able to deal any damage. An Immortal drop with Zealot support completely catching me and Sase off guard. The Immortal's able to do a lot of damage and also absorb a bit of damage from that Photon Overcharge. Now we are going into the game 3 of this best of 3 here on Belshir Vestige. On the bottom right hand side of the map, we have the purple Protoss player. Meanwhile, on the top left hand side of the map, we do have Jan Merlot's ToD spawning as the blue Protoss. Now, we've seen some very different styles in between the games so far, and Immortals are generally rather strong. In the classic Wings of Liberty StarCraft 2 style, your third building really does dictate what particular style of gameplay you are going for. Are you going to be going for gateways, for a much more gateway heavy centric, or are you going to tech? There's 3 possible tech options. There's the Twilight Council, there is the Robotics Facility, and there's the Stargate. In general, Twilight Council beats the Stargate, Stargate beats the Robotics Facility, and the Robotics Facility beats the Twilight Council in terms of tech. So far, we are seeing ToD quickly throw in 3 probes onto each of his gas. Meanwhile, we already see Sase with only 2 workers on this gas, not getting any gas off of this assimilator as of yet. A bit of a concern, as he will be behind, as ToD is already getting up to 4, 5, perhaps even 6 workers here in just a moment. So far, both of these players are just scouting for proxy pylons, trying to make sure that there is no proxy 2-gate pressure coming in from any which corner of the map. Currently sitting on 15 over 24 workers. We should be getting more workers into that assimilator there. Meanwhile, ToD just currently warping in his necessary buildings, getting that all-important second gateway just in case there is an early battle, and then now training up, getting up that Stalker. I believe a Mothership Core should be next, and then we'll have to wait and see in terms of what type of tech that Sase goes for. Meanwhile, ToD already getting up 3 workers on each of these assimilators. He will have more gas, and that extra gas should play a very pivotal role in the upcoming battles. All that, like we can see so far here, there is a proxy pylon off to the side. No one controlling this Zelnaga tower here. There are the destructible rocks in the center with what I believe to be an armor of 3. As we are now looking at chrono boosting out this Mothership Core. Mothership Core has arrived to the party. Meanwhile, double gateways from ToD means that any sort of attack should get pushed back. None of these players yet setting up their nexus, so it doesn't look like any one side wants to commit to an economic game until after they see what their opponent is trying to go for. Mothership Core is coming in from the other side as well. You can take a look. Sase has 1 Mothership Core sneaking up along the north. Meanwhile, 2 Stalkers and a Zealot now making a move out across the map here, as we are finally getting our second and third gateways. However, the Mothership Core will be arriving and may be able to get in some very easy probe kills, as we're now looking at ToD retreating with a lone Stalker here. Is he going to be able to do much? Meanwhile, back in here, the Mothership Core already at 0 kills, but he is causing a little bit of disruption there, as the Stalker is trying to take down that Mothership Core. There is the recall, only getting 1 kill there, as the Stalkers of ToD and Sase should be coming into a bit of an engagement. You can see that there's 1 Mothership Core on the far side here. Beautiful force field on the ramp, making it difficult to head up there, as we are now going into hallucination. Sase may even decide to force field the ramp himself, just in case units do try to come down. Oh, there it is. There is that force field there, as you can see so much damage being dealt. The Nexus will get canceled, and so much time lost there. All right, 1 lonesome sentry going to get taken down. Are we going to see more units lost here? There goes another, as the Stalkers are trying to fight it out there. Is that Stalker going to make it? No, it is not. Sase really just charging up the ramp here. Looks like he's going to come out ahead. Stalkers, but there's a beautiful force field on the ramp again. Mothership Core now taken down, as the Stalkers are getting picked across as well. You can see that the Stalkers and the Sentries on the low ground trying to shoot up onto the high ground. There goes another Sentry there as probes are finally now being pulled. Stalker, Sentry now trying to come back here. Both sides losing a bit. As you can see, a Mothership Core now causing a bit of harassment. Already up to 5 kills. Sase doing a great job. 6 workers killed. Let's take a look at the losses. Slightly higher as Sase now tries to run back into the far corner there. Meanwhile, these units have made their way inside the base here. Is the robotics facility gonna train up the Immortal? Yes, it does. And that little bit of shoot and scoot allowed the Immortal to come out, and that is a bit of a problem. Are we going to perhaps see a force field? No, the Sentry gets picked off there. And what was a clear-cut victory for Sase has now turned into a bit of an even exchange or equivalent exchange for you alchemists out there, as the Sentries, Stalkers, and Zealots now running back. Alright, Sentries and Stalkers. It looks like only the Stalkers will be able to get away. Nope, the Zealots and the Stalkers still coming in together. You can see the group of Stalkers chasing after those units. That low hit point Sentry could be taken down. Are we going to perhaps see a force field? Not even a force field, as the Zealots lead the charge to absorb a bit of damage. And that is going to be a bad day for that Zealot as he gets taken out as well. Alright, Nexus now coming in. Is it going to be enough? Do we have enough units out on the field? That is the question here, as ToD may do what exactly Sase did just moments ago. Force a cancellation on the Nexus, as both sides now sitting on one base. Alright, is there the cancellation? No cancellation at all. What was that about? Sase showing how to lose 400 minerals quick, and that is a problem. Let's take a look at the losses. 2,700 versus 2,075. Another round of Zealots could have been made in there, and that is just a huge victory for ToD, as ToD now ahead with 800 resources less. The Immortal still trying to shoot up onto the high ground. You can see that Zealots now making their way over. The Stalkers really just chasing after that Immortal a bit much. That Immortal has very good range, and Sase was not engaging well at all. Very small unit battles here, as the Stalkers don't have blink. They won't be able to catch up. Hardened shields trying to limit the amount of damage. There you go. There's another battle again. The Immortal quickly going to get focused down. It looks like one Stalker will get taken down there. 4 Stalkers to 3. But a little bit of a head start on ToD Stalkers should allow him to get back home. Let's take a look. The Nexus being built for the second time this game. Sentries and Stalkers cleaning up ToD here. And wow, what a quick turnaround again. The losses have now evened up a bit more, as ToD may be forced to cancel this Nexus for the second time. More Stalkers are coming in to reinforce. A lot of damage is being dealt here. It looks as though, in comes a large group of Zealots and Stalkers to push them back. The Zealot will not, or does get off an escape pattern there, as we do see, what is this? Oh my goodness, I was going to say that there was going to be a proxy pylon right outside the front door. That would have just completely caught Sase unaware there, as more Stalkers are now still looking to come in. Alright, Nexus taking a bit of damage, but holding. More Immortals need to be trained up. The robotics facility has just now started. Nope, not training up any additional Immortals. The Immortal just trying to catch up there. That burst damage on that Immortal, 50 damage quick against all of those fleeing Stalkers, as the Stalkers get caught in between a rock and a force field, unable to squeeze on through. And ToD looks like he is just absolutely enjoying this game, getting a bit lucky at times. But in any game of strategy, there is always a bit of luck, as we saw the force fields just in the right position to ruin the AI, as the Zealot and the Stalker were not able to slip by. Alright, there's the engagement. Oh, talk about a force field trap there. ToD now going to be losing a whole bunch of hit points on those Stalkers there, but now those force fields are actually working against him. What is going to be happening here, as the Zealot's now trying to pull back? Are we going to see another force field come in? And yes, this time around, Sase losing. Alright, so both sides really making catastrophic mistakes, but entertaining mistakes to say the least, as force fields go from hindrance to from friend to foe and vice versa. as the Zealots are now trying to chase down this last sentry. All right, if that sentry does go down, that is a quick 150 resources. There is about an 800 difference there. Oh, that sentry was able to pull back there in just the amount of time. Looks like one final shot will do it. There it goes. Almost 1,000 resource loss difference between these two armies. All right, it looks like we are finally done with the early game. We are 14 minutes into this battle as we see Zealots now trying to run inside here. Stalkers have arrived at the party. Zealots trying to make their way inside the mineral patch. Is it going to really matter, though, as the probes are all just going to simply run around? All right, Zealots getting in some easy shots there. You can see that the Immortals getting some easy shots off as well. There goes one. There goes another. Let's take a look at the total losses. About a 1,200 resource difference. Sase is a little bit behind in that respect, but there seems to be a good-sized army by both sides, and both sides have even economies. I really like these smaller battles, tactical battles here in StarCraft 2. I don't like to see the large, I'm just going to mass up as many units as I can and then throw them at you, making AoE and spells much more powerful than originally anticipated. So far we can see that the Warp Prism is going to try and drop off some units inside perhaps the main or the natural. Meanwhile, Sase is ready to engage while the army is away, and here you go, in comes the Warp Prism now. There goes a Photon Cannon 1 and 2, and this is going to quickly turn into a little bit of a fight here as all the Zealots are now going to just continue to warp in. You can see another drop happening in on the far side. Both sides coming in with the same strategy at the same time. ToD was a little bit later as the Zealots are just reinforcing here. This is the problem with being a little bit later to the party. Being a little bit later means that you cannot reinforce nearly as fast, and if you are forced to defend, your attack is going to be a little bit, well, later. There's the Photon Overcharge now coming in. Zealots looking to finish off this Nexus. Nexus taking a lot of damage here, but the Immortals now dropping off. Beautiful force fields around the entire Nexus in an attempt to save it, and there it goes, though I believe it almost looked like for a second that ToD accidentally attacked his own Nexus. I'll have to go back and look at that. There was force fields surrounding it all, and now ToD is just in a load of trouble. You can see that his mining is significantly less. You can take a look at this here. All the sentries are now making a move out across the map. One pylon, one warp prism ready to go. Dark Templars now coming in from ToD. But I gotta believe Sase is expecting this whenever behind just Dark Shrine. It seems to be the common motto for StarCraft 2 Protoss players. As we're now looking at a hallucinated Phoenix trying to do a flyby, will get taken out. Alright, let's take a look at this here. Warp Gates, Nexus, still not done. Harvester count 44 to 42. ToD looking very much on the brink of death here, but then Sase doesn't have much mining going on here either. No third base has yet to be placed down, finally taking it up at the 20-minute mark, but is it too little, too late? Zealots now try once more for a quick run by. They're going to get taken out as the new art animation and particle effects and the physics effects, there it goes, getting destroyed right there. All right. One Dark Templar hiding off over here. That third base ready to go. One Zealot hiding here. Sase is making sure to keep that army small. Sase also has the larger supply count, which means the larger army by 10 right now, which should bode well. However, the Dark Templars have arrived to the scene, and the Dark Templar isn't going to be able to actually finish this off. All right, worker kill count could start to get up higher. There is another kill there. Oh, what is it doing? It is standing right next to a unit here, and it has not really done much of anything else. They are going after probe after probe. This kill already getting up to 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my goodness, 12 kills already, and there is still no observer as of yet on these two mineral patches. That Dark Templar has seen better days, but that was a huge number of kills. 28 workers killed compared to 14. That one lone Dark Templar had about 10 to 12 worker kills. I know he got in a Zealot or two in there as well, so don't really know for certain. Dark Templar now attempting to take down this Nexus here. ToD has somehow taken the advantage with that Dark Templar rush as a new Dark Templar now comes inside. Are we going to be going after her probes? Yes, we are. There goes 2 already. There goes a third one quick. Meanwhile, we are now going to head over to the other mineral patch. Another one has been taken down. 6 worker kills already as the Dark Templar may try to go after the Colossus now. No, going after the robotics facility. That is not going to work out well as we see that this base has been destroyed. Sase unable to do much of anything with that base. We are now down to 1 base only as Sase doesn't have any workers in his main. ToD looking very strong now with over a 2,000 resource advantage. What will he be doing next? As the Warp Prism tries to do a flyby, this is not going to be helpful at all. ToD going to lose this Warp Prism rather quickly. There it goes. And we are now looking at 2-0 upgrades on ToD's units. Meanwhile, 0-0 upgrades on Sase's unit. Smaller army, less upgrades. This is a very bad sign as we're now looking at where the Archons will be traveling to. So far, Warp Prism, hallucinated Warp Prism, perhaps trying to feign a drop as another hallucinated Warp Prism off over here on the side. Let's take a look at this. This hallucinated Warp Prism just flying around. It doesn't really seem to be drawing the attention of ToD here as the Zealots are going to be going in for an engagement. All right, Colossus, War of the World style. Mass hallucinations quickly come across the map here as they are trying to engage. Wow, beautifully played here as they're going to absorb a bit of damage, not knowing which Colossus are real and which Colossus are fake. All right, there you go. That looked like a lot of damage, but didn't really do much of anything. Are we going to perhaps see a time warp? Yes, we are. Hallucinated Colossus, both sides fighting, and this is really going to start to add up. This time warp in the center, it looks like it is purples, as another time warp comes in as well. All right, Mothership Core down to 45. Dark Templar wants to perhaps come in here and then clean up this base. You can see Sase now instead cleaning up the third base, saying to himself, if I can't have 3 bases, neither can you, as the Colossus arrives to the party. There you go. There's another round of hallucinated Colossus. Both sides fighting. Archons able to push their way through, and this actually is going to be looking very bad. ToD has a lot of Immortals. I believe 6 Immortals, 5 Immortals right now, and they're just chasing after those units. This is looking very strong, very good. And Sase now down to 62 supply compared to 110 with a 38 to 19 worker advantage. These probes will be doing the walk of shame to try and harvest more resources. But the army sizes are just so much in favor of ToD that I can't imagine ToD losing the next battle or this game, especially without much of an economy to support what Sase is trying to rebuild. He just has not been trading well at all, especially being down 1-0 on those upgrades compared to 2-0. And now eventually, what it will be 2-1? Wait, did I see armor upgrades for just a second? I did, but they were canceled to try and get more units out onto the field. Another Colossus finally being added. Meanwhile, the third base looks like it has just been started. Needs about another 70 seconds or so until it is completed. Archons, Colossus, Zealots, Immortals ready to walk out onto the battlefield and start cleaning up. Level 3 Protoss weapon upgrades. Dark Templars dealing 65 damage per swipe. Swipe or no swipe, but he doesn't care. He's going to destroy as many workers as possible. As we're now looking at 16/24 workers, and ToD still trying to rebuild his third base. Sase needs to win outright in the next battle, otherwise he will lose, especially with this third base about to come to fruition and start returning some resources. At the same time, ToD could try to expand here to the 9 o'clock position, but that would be rather dangerous as the army sizes indicate, or in ToD's mind, the army sizes are about the same, and losing 400 resources on a gamble is not worth it at this point. There you go. There's the attack. There's the time warp, and the engagements should already be coming in. There's the attacks there. Are we going to be seeing anything new? The Mothership Core down to 32 energy will not be able to provide very much of anything. It gets shot down as the Archons and Zealots are still battling it out. All right, That is a lot of Colossus. Now probes being brought into the fight. Are they going to try and absorb damage? Yes, they do, only to get killed by Colossus in just a moment. And Sase does say GG, realizing that his all-in just did not work. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 3. ToD beating Sase in this best of 3.